Right, so a very good evening to everyone. Welcome to ABC, that is all about CUET 2025 form filling session. I guess the screen is visible to everyone. If okay, thank you, Suraj. So before we commence with this session, I would request everyone to please note down the few important dates that is approaching us. That is the online submission form of application that is uh, ends on 22nd March. However, the date for the transactions or making fee could last up to 23rd March 2025. So before we commence with this session, we should keep in mind the dates that's approaching. Like let's say for in next couple of days, we would be ending up with the admission or the registration process for the CUET. Also, if we have any doubt or queries pertaining to the session, I would request you all to please pen down somewhere. है ना? We'll discuss it later on. And also, I'll keep it bilingual, Hindi and English mix to cater the large audience or to convey my message to the larger number of the people attending this session. Okay. So since the date is 22nd March, I would urge and request everyone like who is applying for CUET 2025, let's not wait for the D-Day to come or for some Mangal Mahurat, right, to apply for the process, because we should avoid the last minute rush. And since the application process is bit tedious, it's a long process. So before getting into this session, I would request you to please attend it very attentively, and in case if you have any query, so I would be happy to help you out in the last of the session. All right. So since as of now 22nd March is the last date to apply for the application, right? Since there are apprehensions or the speculations, I would say that date can increase, or right, it could extend to 1 or 2 days, going by the trend that NTA has been doing so far. There would be a correction window open for 3 days, that is 24th March till 26th, and the city of intimation would be announced later on. Examinations date will be between 8th May till 1st of June 2025. These are the tentative dates. However, the exams process would start in somewhere between 8th of May till June 2025. So of course, we have handful of 30 to 45 days for our preparation, wherein we could prepare for CUET very well and we could understand the nuances of it. All right. So this is all about the dates that we should keep in mind. So now another important thing that we should look up to is the application fee particularly. So if we belong to general category, then the fee for this would be 1000 rupees, and additionally 400 rupees for the each additional subjects, right? For OBCs and EWS it's 900. For the other categories, students and candidate, it will be 800 student 800 and 350 for each additional subjects, right? So as of now, since what the what this CUET UG particularly says, it says you can select up to 5 domain subjects or the 5 subjects including your language and the general test. So the amount for the general category would be roughly somewhere around 1800 for the application form, right? So the registration will be online. The link has been mentioned on the screen. Total subjects this year has been dropped down to 37, which includes 13 languages, 23 domain specific subjects honge, and one would be your general aptitude test. So in total, a student can select up to 5 subjects out of these 37 subjects. Now the medium would be in the 13 Indian languages, which comprises of Assamese, Bengali, English, Gujarati, Hindi, Kannada, Malayalam, Marathi, Punjabi, Odia, Tamil, Telugu, and Urdu, so far and so forth. Right. The purpose is to cater the entire section of the country. Right. Language subjects would be based on reading, right? Reading comprehensions. They would be asking you questions based on the factual, literary, and narrative type questions would be there. Literary aptitude and vocab based questions would be there in the language section. However, the domain subject would be having the syllabus as per the NCERT prescription. General aptitude test comprises of your current affairs, mental ability, mathematics, basic elementary mathematics that we have studied up till class 8th or 10th for that matter. And then, of course, we will be having the logical reasoning questions and the GK questions as well, right? So this would be a part of your GAT. Now, choices of test paper, candidate can choose up to 5 subjects, including language and general aptitude test, right? So please keep in mind, मैं हिंदी में भी इसको बता दे रहा हूं कि एक कैंडिडेट जो है वो मैक्सिमम 5 सब्जेक्ट्स को चूज कर सकता है, which includes your language test, general aptitude test, and 3 additional domain tests, right? Now, over here, the catch is, since CUET says that irrespective of the fact whether a student has those particular subjects in class 12th or not, it is not material. However, if we go by the requirements of the universities, then Delhi University categorically says that a student should essentially have those subjects in class 12. So there is a confusion regarding this. So let's be very clear that a student who is in class 12th and studying humanities, let's say he is having political science, he is having history, he is having geography, then he is ought to select only all these 3 subjects while applying for Delhi University, right? However, CUET says it is immaterial, but going by the website, we have to select only the subject that we have studied in class 12. तो जो भी सब्जेक्ट्स हमने क्लास 12th में पढ़े हैं, दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी की रिक्वायरमेंट के हिसाब से हमें वही सब्जेक्ट्स को चूज करना होगा. I guess के this thing is clear to everyone. All right. If not, then you can raise your query. I'll read it and I'll answer it accordingly. Anyways, so the marking scheme, it says 5 marks for the correct answer and negative 1 mark for the wrong answer. It will be a CBT computer based test. So no pen and paper. Total questions this year would be 50 questions for each test paper, and all questions would be compulsory. So this time this NTA has made it very easy and quite simple, that we need to have only 50 questions. We have to do only 50 questions from each test paper, and all the questions will be compulsory. Unlike the previous year, there were options that we need not to do all the questions, right? So for every paper, we would be getting 60 minutes. That's 1 hour paper for every paper. So let's say if there will be 5 subjects, so we would be getting 50 questions for each subject. Now it will be on the multiple shifts depending on the number of candidates for each exam, right? I guess things are clear from this slide. We can switch to another one. Okay, for the marking scheme, as I told you, like it will be +5 for the correct and -1 for the negative, and for the unanswered or unattempted, it will be 0, matlab no marks would be given. However, if the question is found to be wrong, then whether you have attempted or not, if the question is wrong, or let's say the options selected are wrong, then the marks will be given to everyone, irrespective of the fact whether we attempted it or not, right? Over here, there's another thing that we need to keep in mind is, let's say if one question has 2 options correct, then only the answer, the marks will be awarded to those people who has selected the correct answer, right? Okay. Now, since we have the large audience who is looking for the law programs particularly, so under CUET that we have these many colleges which provides the BLLB 5-year integrated course. Let's say Banaras Hindu University, of course, it carries a legacy of 110 years. It's my alma mater. Then, of course, Allahabad University also provides BLLB. Then Baba Sahib Bhimrao Ambedkar University provides BBA LLB rather than BLLB. Then Central University of South Bihar also provides the 5-year integrated course. So if you are a law student who is looking for the opportunities for 5-year program in the any of the central universities through CUET, then you have these many four central universities, good central universities, which you can apply for. In case if you have the commerce in your 12th, then of course BBAU that is in Lucknow, it could be I would suggest you to apply for it, right? It can have the location advantage as well, right? However, it has the 50% reservation for the SC/ST students and 10% reservation for the EWS. OBC students does not get any reservation benefit in BBAU. All right. So this is the quite quick information about the BLB program from this central universities. Okay, so Srinika Basu, yes, we can connect after the class, right? After this particular session, and I'll handle your query one on. All right. So these were the BLLB options. Apart from CUET, there are few central universities like JMI, as you know, Jamia Millia Islamia and Aligarh Muslim University. These are also the central universities. However, they take they take the admission through their own entrance examinations. They does not take admission in their BLLB program through CUET. But to keep in mind, the other programs of JMI and Aligarh Muslim University take the admissions through CUET only. Only for this BLLB program, they have this separate scheme altogether for the admission, right? They have their own entrance exam. Now, keeping in mind the Delhi University cutoff, these were the last year cutoffs based on the data available. So let's say essentially we need to have the 97-98% score to get into the decent colleges of Delhi University or North Campus for that matter, right? So this information, of course, is tentative, so we cannot rely completely on it. But yes, so far the resources suggest we ought to have somewhere around 97 to 98% of score to get into the good North Campus colleges of the Delhi University, right? So of course, we will be having the subsequent session on 22nd, wherein we would be talking about in great detail with respect to the cutoffs, with respect to the colleges in detail, the programs that we can apply for. So I would request everyone to please attend that particular session also. So this session is particularly to help you out with the form filling and what all guidelines are required to help you better and in efficient manner to apply for the form before the deadline, because today is 20 and the deadline is 22nd, right? English language syllabus, let's talk about the syllabus part. So English language syllabus, that is your language part, would be having the reading comprehensions and the verbal ability questions, and the type of the questions, it will be comprising of 300 maximum words. The type of passages would be factual, narrative, literary. Then verbal ability, rearranging the parts that we have done while preparing for aptitude, para jumbles, match the following, choose the correct word, synonym and antonyms questions would be there in your exam paper. Now, talking about the domain subjects, let's say 26 domain subjects are there. Keeping in mind your criteria of selection, like if you are a commerce student, then you can select the account BHT economics. If you are a humanities student, then n list of humanity subjects have been given, like geography, history, right, political science, psychology. If you are a science student, then of course maths and PCM subjects you can select accordingly. All right. So general aptitude test would be having general knowledge, current affairs, general mental ability, numerical ability questions, right? So yes, then reasoning, simple application based questions, right? Yes, sir, right. You are correct. There are 23 domain subjects. I'll check it and I'll get back. Okay, general science and environment literacy. Now, what is the university application strategy for DU, Delhi University? So let's say if you're a commerce student who wants to pursue BCom from Delhi University, this is going to be little technical. So I would request everyone to be very attentive and understand the selections or the combinations of subjects, right? So candidate must appear in CUET in any of the following combinations. So student has to select any one language. Let's say English would be a language. Then mathematics, if you have commerce with maths, so of course you can select this particular combination, and then any two subjects from the list B. So this list B is the number of subjects given by Delhi University, basically comprising of your domain subjects, right? So any two subjects from list B would be your domain subjects that you have studied in class 12, right? If you have the subject that which does not have maths, basically, so you have commerce without maths, so any one language, that is English, then accounts, and any two subjects from list B, that would be your this thing, commerce or economics or BST, right? Over here for BCom ऑनर्स you need not to write GAT, ठीक है? तो अभी आपको मैं एक सजेशन दूंगा कि क्या हमें जनरल एप्टीट्यूड टेस्ट को सेलेक्ट करना चाहिए. द आंसर विल बी बिग यस, हमें सेलेक्ट करना चाहिए, बिकॉज द आंसर लाइज टू इट कि अभी देखो हमने क्वेश्चन पेपर नहीं देखा है, हमने पेपर अटेम्प्ट नहीं किया है, राइट, एंड वी डोंट नो कि हमारा क्या स्कोर होने वाला है. तो वी नीड टू एक्सपेंड आर सिलेक्शंस, राइट, और हमें अपने ज्यादा सब्जेक्ट्स को सेलेक्ट करना होगा ताकि हमारे पास चॉइस रहे, हमारे पास ये पावर रहे कि हमारा, अगर मान के चलिए कि जनरल एप्टीट्यूड टेस्ट में स्कोर कम हो रहा है, या मान के चलिए किसी डोमेन सब्जेक्ट में ज्यादा हो रहा है, तो वी कैन बैलेंस इट, ठीक है? तो हमें अपनी अपॉर्चुनिटीज को मैक्सिमाइज करने के लिए सब्जेक्ट्स को मतलब ज्यादा सेलेक्ट करना चाहिए, राइट? दिस इज माई टेक पर्टिकुलरली, ठीक? तो आई वुड एसेंशियली रिक्वेस्ट एवरीवन हु इज अटेम्प्टिंग CUET टू प्लीज सेलेक्ट लैंग्वेज एंड जनरल एप्टीट्यूड टेस्ट alongside your three domain subjects, right? So if I talk about the plain BCom course, it says then any one language from list A and any three subjects from list B. So language and three domain subject is the requirement of the BCom. Combination 2 says any one language from list A, any one subject from list B, and general aptitude test, right? So for BCom, general aptitude test comes into picture. तो अभी इधर पे हमें ये समझना होगा कि लेट्स से कि बाय गोइंग बाय कॉम्बिनेशन 1 योर स्कोर इज लेस, but going by combination 2 your score is more. So ultimately the system will fetch the combination 2 marks, right? So you have a higher chance of getting a good score. So for this reason I am asking you people to select the maximum number of subjects possibly you can select for your CUET entrance, right? Okay, now here comes the another important subject or the course, I would say, that is BBA, that is the Financial Investment Analysis Program. So this particular program is a very good program of Delhi University. There are few colleges that takes up the admission in this particular course, but the requirement over here is that essentially a student must have studied 12th mathematics, right? So any one language, mathematics plus general aptitude test. ठीक? In case if you have not studied even mathematics in your class 12th or 11th, and if you want to write and you want to take this risk, then too you are eligible to take this particular combination, right? It is not barring you, but essentially you are supposed to attempt the mathematics or applied mathematics ka domain part. All right, things are clear to everyone. I guess the speed is or pace is all right. In case if you have any query with respect to the selections or the combinations, you can raise the query. Okay. Okay, Karthikeya sir, I'll help you with the number of domain subjects. So if I talk about the BBFIA particularly, then you have to select only one particular domain subject, and language, of course, English, and general aptitude test you have to select for this particular thing. Out of the all the 23 domain subjects that we have, maths is the requirement for this particular program. All right. For BA, for another program, that is BA, that is BA honors, that is BA in economics. Okay, so somebody has asked you, sir, I am a non-medical student and want to pursue BCom. Do I have to choose commerce subjects as domain subject, or I can choose non-medical subjects as domain subjects? So basically, if we go by, if you're a non-medical student and want to pursue BCom, right? So let's say, getting back to the commerce, it says for BCom honors, you have to select any one language. that is English, of course you would be selecting. Then accountancy, you must be having your accounts subject, then you can select the accounts, and any two subjects of your choice, that is you can select the economics or the BST, right? So those are the subjects that you can select.
Hello.
Hanji.
Hello. Hello. Saurabh.
Hanji, you're audible.
Yeah, okay. See, intermediate, I studied mathematics. So, can I skip mathematics or applied mathematics for CUT entrance? Can I take my like accounts and bookkeeping, general aptitude test like that?
So Jayant, can I know the program that you are applying for?
BBA, finance.
BBA. Okay, for that you need to have maths essentially, right? So your score would be calculated on that basis only. So for BBE, you need to have mathematics as your domain subject. You cannot skip that.
So irrespective of intermediate, I have to choose mathematics.
Right.
Thank you.
That is the essential requirement for mathematics.
Okay.
सौरभ जी एक क्वेश्चन है when we say mathematics or applied mathematics, so the students who have studied the mathematics, they have studied the core mathematics, and applied is applied. So
Okay.
if I have studied applied mathematics, then if the questions, will there be questions which are related to the core mathematics which I have not studied, and I will be at a disadvantage?
No. So, sir, the questions would be on equal footing, right? Keeping in mind the interest of the mathematics student as well as the applied mathematics student. Students will be given a choice, right, to select the questions.
So this means that when the student opens the maths paper, he will be having a choice whether to attempt core mathematics or to
Exactly.
attempt applied mathematics, is it?
Exactly. Hana? Given the fact that the questions would be from the NCERT based syllabus, right? So whatever the syllabus has been prescribed on the website, the questions would be from that particular area, right? And the students would be given the choice, right?
So but जब हम लोग subject select करते हैं, there is no selection that whether you want to select applied mathematics or mathematics.
Okay. Mathematics and applied mathematics go hand in hand, sir. Right. So there is no bifurcation that whether you want to select the mathematics or the applied mathematics.
अच्छा. तो so you are telling जब question paper आएगा उसी में ही choice होएगा whether you want to attempt applied or core. अच्छा, ठीक.
Right.
Okay, thanks.
So how tough is the mathematics paper actually?
So you're not audible to me. Can you be a little louder?
So how tough is the paper for mathematics?
Can you please type your query, sir? I would be happy to help you at the last of the session. Would that be okay?
Okay then. Go ahead.
Thank you. Okay, thank you so much.
Saurabh, this is Rajiv from
Haji, sir. Haji, sir.
I think there's an important, point on domain subjects, because CUET this year has said that you can opt for domain subject even if they are not with you in class 12th, right?
Right.
Let me give you an example. Let's say if somebody is a commerce student, right?
Okay.
And they want to get into humanities, so they can pick up something like history as a domain subject even if they have not studied history in class 12. That is what CUET says.
Right.
But if you look at Delhi University, they are very categorical. Delhi University says that you have to pick up the domain subjects which you have studied in class 12.
Right.
So I think this becomes a very important point, because finally we are looking at a university, not the test.
Sir, I mentioned it in the initial phase only, sir. I mentioned it when I started this particular session. So I mentioned that there is a catch over here. The CUET says something else. However, the university requirements says something else. So there is a confusion with respect to it. So let's say, as you are saying, a student wants to pursue BA in history or something, then he need to essentially select only those subjects which he has studied in class 12th, right? as per the requirement of the Delhi University.
You are suggesting that to
Am I
our
clear, sir?
students and inquiries, we should
Haan ji.
actually guide them that
Mhm.
finally you are looking at a course and a university, so domain subjects in class 12 should be the one you should opt for.
एग्जैक्टली सर. उसके सर रीजंस भी हैं कई सारे कि स्टूडेंट के लिए नया सब्जेक्ट चूज करना थोड़ा सा टास्क हो जाएगा, उसको कम टाइम मिलेगा फॉर द प्रिपरेशन, राइट, एंड ही वोंट बी एबल टू डू जस्टिस विद द डोमेन सब्जेक्ट व्हिच ही हैजंट स्टडीड फॉर अ ईयर लॉन्ग. तो as a general advice, as our counselors, as the educators, we have to like recommend students to select only those subjects which they have studied very well in the 11th and 12th.
True.
Right,
Thank
sir?
you. Thank you. Yeah.
Is it all right, sir?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Now, if I talk about the another program, guys, that is Bachelor of Management Studies. So it is an equivalent course to BBA, and there are very few good colleges of Delhi University. If I to name few like Shahid Sukhdev, Deen Dayal, and Keshav Mahavidyalay. So they provide this particular course that is BMS, that is Bachelor of Management Studies, right? So there's a 3-year long program, and of course a very good with good number of placement records. And one of my student recently got the 18 lakh package after just after 3 years, and he is like working with Goldman Sachs. So this is a very good option that any commerce with math student should look up to, or any PCM student for that matter who is preparing for IPMAT or for, let's say, for other management entrance exams. He should of course consider this option as one of the options, right? So what are the requirements as per the Delhi University is that essentially a student should have the language, then maths as the domain, and general aptitude test as the subjects, right? So in total 3 subjects are required: language, maths, and the general aptitude test, right? So which is like same with respect to the other programs like BBE, BFIA, and then BA in economics. तो कुल मिलाकर हमने ये समझने की कोशिश की है कि लेट्स से इफ वी आर अ कॉमर्स स्टूडेंट and we have maths, or let's say we are a PCM student, then Delhi University के कुछ management courses हैं जिनके लिए हम eligible हैं, right? Like BMS, BBE, BFIA, right? And BA in economics, right? So if you're looking to build your career in economics field, then of course you should essentially have mathematics in your class 12, right? Now coming to the humanities students requirement, now Delhi University BA program has 2 combinations. So combination 1 says, let's say any one language from list A and anything 3 subjects from list B. So if you are a humanities student and you have history, psychology, and political science, you can select all 3 subjects. However, combination 2 says if you want to select any 2 languages, let's say English and Hindi, you can select English plus Hindi plus any 2 subjects from list B, that could be history and geography, right? So this will help you to increase your scores. Also, it has a third combination which says language plus any one subject and plus GAT, that is general aptitude test. तो अगर हम इन 3 कॉम्बिनेशंस के हिसाब से चलते हैं, और मेरा क्लास 12th में जो है लैंग्वेज भी था, इंग्लिश भी था, हिंदी भी था, मैंने हिस्ट्री भी पढ़ा हुआ है, मैंने ज्योग्राफी भी पढ़ा हुआ है, राइट? तो अभी मेरे पास जो है वो तीनों कॉम्बिनेशंस में फॉल करने का राइट है, लाइक तो मैं 3 सब्जेक्ट्स मतलब कॉम्बिनेशन 1, कॉम्बिनेशन 2, कॉम्बिनेशन 3 के हिसाब से सब्जेक्ट्स को चूज कर सकता हूं, राइट? सो दैट इज हाउ इट गोज लाइक, ठीक है? तो हमें अपने ऑप्शंस को मैक्सिमाइज करना होगा ताकि हमारा जिस भी कॉम्बिनेशन से स्कोर ज्यादा आएगा वो इवेंचुअली उस स्कोर को कैलकुलेट कर लिया जाएगा फॉर कैलकुलेटिंग द मेरिट. Okay, so college names are Shahid Sukhdev Kesha Mahavidyalay and this Deen Dayal. I'll share the list and the entire PDF with the concerned people, so you can take up the PDF. We have the entire PDF wherein the details of the program have been mentioned कि Delhi University के किस program के लिए कौन से colleges और किस subjects की requirement है. So after the session, I'll share that PDF with everyone. Okay, so in case if you're a student who is looking for VA in vocational studies, basically for developing skills and particular training programs, so Delhi University says any one language and any 3 subjects from the list B. Combination 2 says any 2 languages and any 2 subjects, and combination 3 says 1 language, 1 subject, and general aptitude test. So these are the three combinations for the BA vocational studies, right? Now, if you're a student who is looking for a career in journalism, so 5-year integrated program in journalism offers the two combinations. It says either any one language from list A, then mass media, mass communication from list B plus general aptitude test. Now combination 2 says any one language from list A and general aptitude test. राइट सो कॉम्बिनेशन 1 अगर हम देखेंगे तो बहुत ही रेयर कॉम्बिनेशन होगा, जहां पर मतलब इंडिया में बहुत ही कम लोगों के स्टूडेंट्स के पास जो है वो मास मीडिया या मास कम्युनिकेशन जैसा सब्जेक्ट ऑप्शनल में होगा, राइट? तो कॉम्बिनेशन 2 विल बी लाइक अ सेवियर वेरिन आपको एक लैंग्वेज सेलेक्ट करनी होगी और जनरल एप्टीट्यूड टेस्ट का आपका स्कोर को मिलाकर ही आपकी मेरिट तैयार होगी फॉर द 5-year integrated program in journalism. All right, so again, multimedia and mass communication BA, it says any one language, any one subject, and then general aptitude test. So merit will be based on the CUET scores obtained from the above mentioned combinations. All right, so these are the courses and the combination that you can select accordingly. Again, I would like to emphasize over here, as sir was mentioning, that we have to look up to the individual college websites, that what are the requirements for the CUET, right? We cannot go by our whims and fancies and select the combinations. That would be wrong, because Delhi University has been very categorical and emphatic about that essentially the student must have the subjects in their class 12, right? In case if you want to look, you're looking for BA in philosophy, then again language from list A and 3 subjects from list B, any 2 languages by the combination 2, and any 2 subjects from the list B. And BA in political science also says the same. So due to time scarcity, we are moving ahead with the form filling session, right? So I'm just sharing the screen so you can have a glimpse like what all these subject requirements are required for the specific subjects, right? The courses. So over here we have like understand and analyzed largely हर प्रोग्राम जो है वो आपका लैंग्वेज और जनरल टेस्ट तो मांग ही रहा है. To be on a safe side and to maximize our options, it is highly recommended and advisable कि हम सारे स्टूडेंट्स को ये रिकमेंड करें कि essentially आप लैंग्वेज और जनरल टेस्ट को तो सेलेक्ट करिए ही करिए, right? There is no escape to it because it will maximize your options. Because अभी क्या होगा ना, CUET is merely a application process. इसके बाद once the CUET exam is done, every other university under the CUET domain or umbrella, they will open up their application processes separately. Delhi University will open their application process separately. BHU will have its own way of taking admissions. So wherein they would be requiring the combinations of scores for that matter. तो उसके लिए एलिजिबल होने के लिए हमें अपने स्कोर्स को मैक्सिमाइज करना होगा. एंड वी डो नॉट नो फॉर लेट्स से देयर इज अ कॉम्बिनेशन विच सेज language and then we have to have 2 domain and then GAT, right? So domain में हमारा स्कोर थोड़ा कम हो जाता है, but GAT comes as a savior wherein we could increase our score, so it will help us in a long run. Haji Rajiv sir, if you want to say something.
Yeah, so Saurabh, just on this point, last year we
Ji, sir.
recall when we were filling up CUT form, there was an option of university selection in the first phase itself. हमें university वहीं choose करनी थी.
Right.
But I believe that in this phase, in this CUT 2025, this application process, we are not, we have this background noise. So, Saurabh, this
Haji,
year,
sir.
in
Haji,
the
sir.
CUT application form, we are not selecting universities as of now, right?
Right. Right. I got your point, sir. Right. So this year, as Rajiv sir is mentioning, since last year we had this college selection process, but this year CUET has like vanished it. There is no university or college selection criteria while filling the form. Right. So we need not to select the colleges this year. Am I correct, sir? Like,
Yeah, this is what I wanted to confirm, that we are only filling up
Haji.
subjects and we are filling up
Exactly.
subjects to maximize our choices. But this year we are not getting to fill up university as of now.
Right, sir.
All right.
Okay. So what if I don't get into Delhi University? Then what all options we can like explore? So in case if you are applying for Banaras Hindu University, then for BA and BLLB, you have general aptitude, language test and the general aptitude test, right? For commerce, if you want to pursue BCom or BCom in financial market management, then essentially your score will be calculated on the basis of your two domain subjects, then accounts and BST, which is a quintessential requirement, and general aptitude test, right? So this is what the BHU says over here. Now you can compare like how the requirement of Delhi University and BHU has changed. In Delhi University, you need not to have accountancy basically, right? Or BST for that matter, you can skip that. Or let's say general aptitude was skipped. But however, over here in BCom, you need not to essentially have language as the requirement. Only what you require is two domain subjects, that is your accounts and BST, and the third is the GAT, right, to take admission in the BHU. Then for vocational, it is language and the general aptitude test, right? This year, like last year, there was a legal studies as a domain subject. This year in 2025, CUET has scrapped that particular legal studies, and for that matter, many optional subjects from the course. Okay, if I talk about the BHU requirement for the programs, like BA says language and general aptitude. Now also we have to keep in mind that there is a age criteria also while applying for BHU with respect to the different program. For BA programs in BHU, the age should not be maximum 22 years, should not be more than 22 years. For BA LLP in BHU, there is no such age criteria. However, in BCom honors programs, there is a 22 years age criteria. For BSc in agriculture, of course, your subjects would be as per your class 11, 12 domain, that is chemistry, physics, and mathematics, right? And the age criteria is 25 years. The maximum age is 25 years. For BSc honors, it will be 22 years. So this is the requirement of the subjects. So essentially, it's very simple. You have to appear on the domain subjects to take admission in the BSc programs of the BHU. All right. So this is again a list. In case if you want to take a screenshot, you can. So there are different programs, and I have also mentioned the domain requirement or the subject requirement with respect to the program or the courses. Okay. Now what beyond DU and BHU under CUET? So these are the other colleges or the universities that you can look up to for the different programs. Over here, Tata Institute of Social Science has a wonderful BA programs or BA in social work. So in case if you're interested to join Tata Institute of Social Sciences, then they have wonderful BA programs. Then of course, they are also taking admission through CUET. So you can consider this good option as well. Okay, what beyond CUET? So there are other colleges also like you can apply for. So I'm sharing just a list. So in case if you are interested, you can take a screenshot, and then we'll be moving ahead with the form filling session. All right. Okay, so without any further delay, let's get over here. Like, what are the documents or the essential things that is required while applying for the CUET form? So basically, if you are in class 10th, essentially your 10th mark sheet is required. If you have cleared your 12th marks, you have to carry your 12th board mark sheets. In case if you are an appearing student, and then you need not to have the 12th mark sheet, right? You have to select the appearing wala option, and you're good to apply for the application. Now over here, there are two things that we have to keep in mind while applying is the passport size photograph. The size limit is 10 KB to 200 KB, which is apparently a white background. And the file name you have to save in the name as being prescribed or given. You have to save the name as it says underscore photo in JPG or GPG format. आप अगर इसको इस फॉर्मेट में नहीं सेव करेंगे तो आपका वो फोटो सिलेक्शन नहीं होगा. सो प्लीज एंश्योर कि जो भी रिक्वायरमेंट है, जो भी साइज लिमिट रखा गया है, उसके अकॉर्डिंगली ही हम अपने फोटो का साइज रखेंगे और उस फाइल का नाम भी रखेंगे. Then signature has to be first two characters of candidate name with signature, and then in JPG format the size varies from 10 KB to 50 KB. For ID proof, you have to have your Aadhaar card or driving license if you have for that matter. However, Aadhaar card would do. In case if you is a candidate who belongs to certain category, then essentially you need to have the caste certificates. In case if you don't have the caste certificates, then they provide you with an option that you have applied for that particular certificate, and then later on you can provide for that. Last year कैसा होता था कि you have to submit some undertaking, but this year they have given you in the option only, है ना? So that is now been simplified more, right? So these are the requirements that you essentially need to have, and of course the payment could be made through UPI ID or through while scanning the QR code or through the debit card or the credit cards. So that's the easy and simple process. All right. So if we go by the first step, I'm like enlarging the screen. The first step says is the login page for the new candidates and already registered candidates, right? So in case if you have not registered for the form, so you have to simply click on the www.cuetug.2025 and this particular screen will appear. So what you're supposed to do is, in case let's assume that you haven't applied for the form, then you are supposed to click on the register yourself for the above mentioned examination. You have to click on the new registration. Then the step 2 would come, then instruction page will appear. Then you have to do a formality of studying that particular long data. Then at the end you could see that it says click here to proceed. So you have to simply click here to proceed. It says, or you have to click on the checkbox that you have read the instructions carefully and given your consent for the below mentioned declaration, right? And then you proceed with the click here to proceed. So this is a basic requirement that you have to do for applying or registering for the CBT form. So once you are done with this, this step 3 will appear. Then you're supposed to fill your personal details page of the application form, wherein you are supposed to fill the personal details, wherein your student name would be required. Then you have to populate your parents' name. Over here, please ensure whatever name has been given or scribed on your mark sheet, 10th mark sheet, please make sure that that particular name should appear on your screen as well, or while filling the form. There should not be any discrepancy with respect to the name, with respect to your name and your parents' name particularly. Then of course date of birth should be matching with your this 10th certificate, and then you can select your gender accordingly, and then we have to fill the details again, right? We have to confirm the personal details. So this is again a tedious job. This form is requiring us to confirm the details, right? Last year this was not the case. However, you are supposed to fill your details, present address, and all the things are self-explanatory. Locality mein and sub-locality mein, you can fill your local area name, then select your country, state, district, and the pin code, right? Then you can also select, after filling all these credentials, then you're supposed to populate CAPTCHA that is being given, and then you can submit, right? For this, you need to submit every time when you fill the particular page. So this is clear. Like step 3 requires a personal details of the application form. Once you are done with this, then there comes the review page of the online registration form. It is nothing. It is just asking you to revisit the details that you have filled. So you're good to go and submit it finally. So your registration task would be done. So once you are done with reviewing a page or online registration form, then you can get this another page, that is step 5, SMS authentication page of the online application. So of course you should have a working mobile number, which you will be keeping till the time of your examinations. So please ensure that you have an active mobile number, right? So you will be getting an SMS or OTP for that matter on the given number, and then you have to confirm the same, and you have to submit your registration form. All right. So that is how your registration step 1 will be completed. I mean to say, like, your registration would be completed for the CUET, right? So the things that we need to keep in mind is your the data we populate should be correct, and should be it should be matching with the 10th mark sheet, right? Now here comes a post registration. Once you're done with the registration, then the generation of the application number and would be done. So you would be given an application number. You can take a screenshot or you can write it down somewhere, right? And also you're supposed to fill the password as well. So for the password, you need to select up. There should be one caps alphabet, and the other could be small, and then there has to be some special numbers, right? The password could be from 8 figures to 13 figures, right? So that has to be the criteria that we need to match, right? Then step 7 will be application status page with summary of completed and pending parts of the application form. So that is how the screen will appear, right? If visible to everyone, right? Then we are done with the registration of the personal details. Then we have to proceed to the next detail. So it's very easy form, right? This year they have done many things in a very simple fashion. So no complications as of now. Now, after doing all this stuff, the personal credential page will be appearing there, wherein you are supposed to check your details, like the details that you have filled while registering are matching or not. Then proceeding with the save and next button, then we can switch to the another part, right? Or to the other step. Now, step 9 comes here is the mode of identity verification page of a candidate application form, right? So you can have your PAN card or the Aadhaar card for that matter. And of course, you have to confirm it by uh, giving the OTP. So please ensure your Aadhaar card is like linked with the mobile number that you are using, because ultimately the OTP would be going on that particular mobile number, right? Now step 10 is very important over here, which for many students, like it's a new thing, right? And few students are very anxious about this, this APAR ID, right? So basically step 10 is not a mandatory step to follow, right? Since APAR ID, basically your school might have helped you during your board examinations, so you must be having this APAR ID along with you. In case if you don't have an APAR ID, you need not to worry about it. It is not the mandatory requirement, right? I'm repeating it again. It is not a mandatory requirement while applying for the CUET form. Okay, so what is APAR ID? It's basically automated permanent academic account registry. So basically all your academic things would be going on one particular portal, and it would be digitized, right? It is an initiative or a part of One Nation, One Student ID program launched by government in aligning with the new education policy. So APAR ID is basically a 12-digit code that will help students to digitally store, manage, or access their academic credits. All right. So it is not the, again, I would say it's not an essential requirement. In case if you have, it's okay. In case if you don't have, then you can follow this process to create your APAR ID, right? You can even scan this QR code to download the DigiLocker on your Google Play, right? So you can follow these many steps for creating an APAR ID. Please keep in mind, but school has to confirm the credentials for that matter. Then you have to approach your school for verifying the credentials in case if your school hasn't verified it yet. All right. Now, moving ahead with the step number 11, it is the examination center and question paper medium details of the application form. So this is one of the very important area while applying for the form. Please have patience while applying for this, and please select the language as per your requirement, right? If your medium has been English, then essentially please select English as a medium of the question paper, right? Please don't do this mistake wherein you have English as a medium and you're selecting your vernacular or background languages as your medium, right? Because then your entire paper or all the other domain subjects will appear in that particular language only, right? So essentially examination center and question paper medium will be appearing on a screen. Then you have to select accordingly. Over here, this is very important. As you could see, you are supposed to select the as per the requirements of the program. So over here, for example, if I'm a commerce student who wants to apply for BMS program, right? So I will be selecting what? English as a language, then mathematics as the domain subject, and then we will be selecting GAT as the general aptitude test as the third subject, right? And alongside this, we are supposed to select 2 more domain subjects to maximize our options, right? So we could select accordingly. Then over here, while selecting the this thing, examination center or state, By default, if you are from Rajasthan or if you are from Haryana or Punjab, then this portal will give you those options only, right? Because it is automatically fetching, right? In case if it appears, because this is a glitch that is appearing in a few of the students, right? They are getting it by default only. So you cannot we cannot help it out. If you are a resident of Uttar Pradesh, then you will be getting options of selecting districts from the Uttar Pradesh only. Then accordingly you can enter the captcha and save and next. So this is a very simple process that you can follow, right? Then entering the qualification details of the program. So since you are a 10th pass student and many of you are appearing in 12th boards, so of course you won't be having the 12th mark sheets. But since you have the 10th board details, so then you can fill the details accordingly, right? There is over here the total marks you have to enter, right? There comes a query with the students, can we select the best 5, best 6? So no such criteria exist. You have to select all the available subjects that you have given in your 10th board examination. No top 5, no top 4, no top 3, right? So all the essential subjects that you have appeared in total, you have to calculate the total marks and then the obtained marks, and the system will automatically fetch your percentage, right? If you have the roll number, some ISC students might be having some unique ID, so unique ID and roll number are the same things, you can apply for the same, right? Then of course the same thing goes with the 12th. If you're a 12th student, then they'll give you the choice, right, whether you are a passed student or a appearing. In case if you're an appearing student, then they won't ask you to fill the details of your 12th board details, right? And then you fill the captcha and then you can proceed with the next option. All right. So once we are done with this tedious task, again, it would ask you few more details like entering additional details pertaining to twins status and previous CUET UG 2025 examination. So in case if you are not a twins, right, you can select accordingly yes or no. Then emergency contact details of the parents and guardians. So you're supposed to fill the essential emergency contact details of your parents. And of course, they will be asking you to verify it. So please ensure that your parents have a working email and working mobile number wherein you have to select and give the OTP, right? So emergency contact details will be verified by the website. Okay. Then it says the authentication of the emergency details. Of course, the mobile number and the email that has been shared by you about your parents, you have to verify it. Right now, the step number 16 says uploading the necessary documents by the candidate. So here comes the I would say technical part, like selecting your photograph and the signatures. Please ensure we don't commit the errors. We save the file with the name as already been mentioned while I was starting with this process and explanation. The file name has to be selected as prescribed, otherwise it is not going to accept your photographs, right? And please ensure we select the correct file. हम photo को photo ही section में डालें, signature को signature section में. Last year many students committed this error, right? So that is how the form were rejected. So we'll ensure that we don't commit this error. Now, another the steps, that is the last step probably, is the review page of the online application form. Then you're supposed to review your online application, then whether you have filled the details correct or not, right? And then you're good to go and submit the application form, right? So it will ask you to submit it, right? You have to select, are you sure you want to submit the application form? Select yes, and then you're supposed to tick mark all the available details wherein you are verifying and declaring that the above informations are correct to and true to your knowledge, right? So that is how the current status of the application form would look like, right? Wherein you are supposed to, in case if you want to edit it or want to revisit, you can do that. Then you have to authentify your this registered email ID. So authentication of the registered email ID is also a necessary process that you have to undergo, right? Then the fee payment part will appear. Then you are supposed to make your payment accordingly through online or through QR. That depends upon entirely the way mode of this application fee you want to submit. This is the confirmation page. Once you're done with the payments, this application process form will appear with this in such format. This is your application number. You have to keep in mind, right? With the help of this, you will be able to download your admit card and your results as well, right? So you could verify like the form has been filled in entirety, and that is how the PDF will be shared to you. All right. So this is so far the application process. ये पिछली बार से काफी इजी किया गया है, सिंप्लीफाई किया गया है, बहुत सारी जो मतलब ऐसी टेक्निकलिटीज थी उसको रिमूव कर दिया गया है. सर वाज मेंशनिंग अबाउट के इस बार जो कॉलेज सिलेक्शंस है वो भी रिमूव कर दिया गया है, राइट? फॉर्म को काफी सिंप्लीफाई किया गया है, इसको काफी यूजर फ्रेंडली बनाया गया है. इन केस इफ यू face any difficulty, you can reach out to me, right? I'll share my number as well. You can WhatsApp me and I can share you the PDFs and the booklet that Delhi University requires, or let's say BHU requires, right? So we can have a question round if you have any query with respect to the program selections, or if you have the query with respect to the uh, combinations, we can connect on that. Okay. I hope like things are clear, like we are clear with the form filling things, right? Okay, so Suyesh Purwar has asked, so if I take applied mathematics, GAT and accounts and any one language domain subject, can I get in any commerce course in every DU college, right? Yes, Suyesh, you are correct, right? So let's to help you out, let's say, right? So if you are a student who wants to apply for the Delhi University Commerce program, then these are the requirements, right? So any one language from list one, that is language essentially you will be selecting, and any three domain subjects, right? By combination two, you can select any one language and any one subject and the general aptitude test, right? Okay. So thank you, Mehul, for the words, for your words. Okay. The best BCom combination for BBA. Okay, the best combination for BBA or BMS would be your language, maths, and GT, right? I hope things are clear to everyone. Suyesh, are we clear on this point? Okay, Jayant sir is asking about the best BBA and integrated MBA colleges. Okay, so the best BBA and integrated MBA colleges, again, I would say there are right 6 IIMs now which are offering the 5-year integrated programs, like IIM Indore. Right, it started in 2011. Then we have Rohtak, Jammu, Bodh Gaya, and Ranchi. This year, Amritsar is also taking admission in the 5-year program. So over here, like Indore has its own this exam with IBMET Indore, right? And this Rohtak has its own exam, IBMET Rohtak, and JIPMET for this Jammu and Bodh Gaya. Ranchi, of course, take the scores of Indore, and of course, Amritsar will also be taking the scores of Indore. So that is how like you can select your 5 IIMs for this 5-year integrated. Of course, Nalsar is a law college. However, it also offers 5-year integrated, but that's not a recommended option according to me, because that's more of a law college. So they won't be paying much attention to it, right? So that won't be a viable choice to select. Okay. So Soyesh is asking another query, like it could help other people as well. It says, is it better to take economics or business studies for domain subject? So Soyesh, it entirely depends upon your comfort, right? So in case if you have the possibility whether you can select both the options like economics and business studies, please go for both the options. In case if you have to select only either of the one, then it depends upon the subject which you are comfortable with, because ultimately this is a competition wherein you have to score on a high note to get into good colleges, and we cannot take the risk or chance, right? Of course, somebody is asking the Christ University. Of course, Christ University offers 3-year BBA program. It's good and considerable option, right? Of course, if you have maths, so then again, NPET examination you can consider, right? So Narsi Munji offers the 3-year program, right? So that is all you can select about this particular program as well. So of course, Christ University is also an option you can consider. More of, I would also recommend, there is one Manipal in Karnataka that you can also look up to. then again there are multiple good options, like IIFT is also offering the 5-year integrated, that too, but with this Indore, right? So these are the colleges that you can apply for also. So like okay, so somebody has asked, sir, if there is no match in your 12th and you want to apply for Delhi University, then which course are good? There is no math in your 12th. Okay, so of course if since you don't have maths, then of course you can apply for BA programs, right? Then you can apply for some vocational programs which will help you in long run. Of course, see, the selection criteria depends upon your area of interest and where you want to see yourself 5 years down the line. What is your career pursuit ultimately, which career you want to pursue. If in case if you want to pursue CAT after your graduation, then of course diversity advantage मिलता है आपको, right? तो अगर आपका graduation कुछ ऐसे subjects में है तो वो एक आपको unsaid advantage देता है. So I would recommend कि let's say BA in English from St. Stephen will have more advantage than BCom from any normal college, right? So that is how you have to select your criterias, right? So of course see the colleges depends upon the options that we have particularly. ठीक है, तो अभी हमें ना ये देखना होगा कि हमारे पास ऑप्शंस कौन से हैं, हमारा बैकग्राउंड क्या है. सो ऐसे कमेंट करना इससे बेटर क्या है, मतलब कौन सा ए से बेटर बी है या बी से बेटर सी है, हम उसमें अभी नहीं जाएंगे, राइट? रीजन के अभी हमें कॉलेज मिला नहीं है, सो वी कैन नॉट कंपेयर which is good for us, which is not good for us. But I would say कि considering the options, the background that we have, we should maximize our options, right? हमें अपने options को maximize करना होगा, ठीक है? So for the detailed session, like which college is the best for your combinations, I guess we can meet on 22nd March again, right? The links will be shared separately for that. Okay, so we can connect on that part on 22nd, right? So Pratyush, you are asking, you have some query combinations for BBA. I didn't get your question. Combinations for BBA as in? You can turn on your mic and you can speak. Yes, you have to make a separate registration for IIM Ranchi, right? They will consider the score of IPMET Indore. However, we are supposed to register separately for that. All right, Suish?
Sir?
For BMS, we have to have language, maths, and general aptitude test. Please keep in mind. Delhi
Excuse me,
University
sir.
में
Am I
BBA
audible?
जैसा, हाँ, संस्कृति, just allow me a second. दिल्ली
Okay, sir.
यूनिवर्सिटी में बीबीए जैसा कोर्स नहीं होता है, वहां पर बीएमएस, बीएफआईए, बीबीई जैसे इक्विवेलेंट कोर्सेज होते हैं. If you are somebody who's looking for BBA options in Delhi University, then you should select BMS as your choice, right? All right, Sanskriti, over to you.
Yes, sir. So in my 12th, I have commerce with maths as my subject, and in additional, I
Okay,
also have painting. So my
okay.
aim is that I get eligible for variety of commerce related courses. So
Mhm,
as you said, like I will take GAT and English. And in my
mhm,
3 domain subjects, I'm thinking that I should take maths. So
mhm.
I should be eligible for all the courses like BMS,
Right,
BBE. And with that,
right.
can I take like DST and painting? Since I searched that in that list B, it also has painting in it, and it would like
Right,
become like very easy for me to score in that than taking accountancy or
right,
economics.
right. Right, Sanskriti, it entirely depend upon the subjects which you are comfortable with, right? Also, with while taking painting, you become to the other programs of performing arts and the other programs of fine arts also, right? So that will also matlab increase your chance of selecting those programs also. All right, you're good to go and select those programs as well, right? There is no discrepancy with that.
मतलब सर मैं अगर अकाउंटेंसी नहीं लेती हूँ तो मेरे को जैसे आपने बताया था बीएचयू का एक बीकॉम ऑनर्स का वो था उसमें मैं
वो आपका
एलिजिबल नहीं
ऑप्शन
होंगी.
बंद हो जाएगा, हाँ, वो
हाँ.
ऑप्शन आपका देखो बंद हो जाएगा. इफ वी गो अबाउट बाय दिस दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी का कॉमर्स वाला ना, बीकॉम ऑनर्स, ठीक है? तो अगर आप इसको देखो जो स्क्रीन पर अभी, तो इट सेज एनी वन लैंग्वेज अकाउंट्स प्लस एनी टू सब्जेक्ट्स, ठीक है? अब अगर आप अकाउंट्स नहीं लेते हो, ठीक है, तो ये कॉम्बिनेशन 2 का स्कोर आपके लिए फिर कैलकुलेट नहीं होगा, है ना। फिर आप किसके कॉम्बिनेशन से जाओगे, कॉम्बिनेशन 1 से जाओगे, व्हेन इट सेज लैंग्वेज, मैथ्स एंड एनी 2 सब्जेक्ट्स। तो अगर आप कुछ ऐसा ऑप्शन रख सकते हो कि आप कॉम्बिनेशन 1 एंड कॉम्बिनेशन 2 के हिसाब से जाते हो, तो इन अ वे आप अपनी प्रोबेबिलिटी को इंक्रीज कर रहे हो। संस्कृति, आर यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से?
Yes, sir. So, like
है ना?
you're saying, like if I don't take accountancy and take a relatively easier subjects in my like
Right.
rest domains, it would increase my chances, right? So
No,
that
if
would
you
be
do
advised.
not take accountancy, it will limit your chances, है ना। अगर आप अकाउंट्स नहीं ले रहे हो बच्चे, तो वो आपके चांसेस को लिमिट कर देगा। अगर लेट्स
So,
से
but
अगर आप मैथ्स भी लेते हो, लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड दिस, अगर आप इंग्लिश लेते हो, आप मैथ्स लेते हो, आप अकाउंट्स लेते हो, आप बीएसटी लेते हो, राइट। तो अभी टोटल हमने कितने 4 सब्जेक्ट्स को सेलेक्ट कर लिया है। तो क्या अभी इन
yes,
4 कॉम्बिनेशन से हम कॉम्बिनेशन 1 एंड कॉम्बिनेशन 2 के लिए एलिजिबल हो सकते हैं, यस और नो?
yes, sir.
है ना, हम दोनों ही कॉम्बिनेशन के लिए एलिजिबल हो सकते हैं, फॉर कॉम्बिनेशन 1 एंड एज वेल एज कॉम्बिनेशन 2। लेकिन अगर आप कहते हो कि मैं अकाउंट्स नहीं लेता हूं, राइट, तो हम क्या कॉम्बिनेशन 2 के लिए एलिजिबल होंगे फॉर बीकॉम ऑनर्स? द आंसर इज नो। अगेन, फिर अगर हम अकाउंट्स नहीं लेते हैं तो क्या हम बीएचयू के लिए एलिजिबल होंगे? द आंसर इज नो। तो हमने इन अ वे क्या किया कि जस्ट टू सेलेक्ट द इजियर सब्जेक्ट, हमने अपनी ऑप्शंस को लिमिट कर लिया। व्हाट इफ आपने देखो 12th में अकाउंट्स पढ़ा ही है, एमसीक्यू बेस्ड आना ही है, जस्ट 1 महीने की और थोड़ा सा ब्रशअप मेहनत करके क्या हम अपने अकाउंट्स को थोड़ा और स्ट्रॉन्ग कर लें, एमसीक्यू को सॉल्व कर लें, टेस्ट पेपर्स दे दें, डोमेन पर थोड़ा सा उसके एमसीक्यूज को सॉल्व करके उसके जो सैंपल पेपर्स हैं, टेस्ट पेपर्स हैं, उन पे अपेयर होकर क्या हम अपना डोमेन इंक्रीज कर सकते हैं? ऑफ कोर्स द आंसर इज यस, राइट। तो वो हमारा ना कंपटीशन में फेयर चांस बढ़ा देगा, बिकॉज वी डू नॉट नो कि कंपटीशन कहां से आके हमें हिट करके जाएगा। तो समझदारी यही कहेगी कि हम अपने ऑप्शंस को, दायरों को बढ़ाएं, rather than limiting our options, right, Sanskriti?
Yes, sir.
Right? Okay, cool enough.
सौरभ जी, एक चीज
Since
जानना थी।
हाँ
सौरभ
हाँ
साहब,
जी, हाँ जी सर,
हरदीप बात कर रहा
जी
हूँ
सर बताइए।
सर।
हाँ जी,
माय डॉटर इज स्टडिंग इन टाइम्स भोपाल, सो
ओके,
in the next week our +2 exams for the commerce will be over, board exams.
राइट।
So वहाँ पे जो क्रैश कोर्स होएगा, या फिर जो बाकी जो आप बीबी एंट्रेंस के लिए, आईपी मैट के लिए जो टेस्ट करवाएंगे, प्रिपरेशन करवाएंगे, उसमें
जी,
जीएटी की भी प्रिपरेशंस रहेंगी क्या?
हाँ जी, हाँ जी सर, हाँ जी सर। सर
ओके,
बेसिकली अगर हम सीयूईटी पेपर पैटर्न को समझते हैं ना, तो सीयूईटी पैटर्न जो है वो आपका एप्टीट्यूड प्लस डोमेन है। However, IPMAT and the other management entrance exams is merely a aptitude exam, right? तो वो इन अ
जी,
वे अगर आप IPMAT की प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हो तो आपका ऑटोमेटिकली जो लैंग्वेज और जीएटी है वो बाय डिफॉल्ट प्रिपेयर हो ही रहा है। एंड ऑफ कोर्स द इंस्टीट्यूट दैट यू हैव एनरोल्ड फॉर, राइट, वुड बी हेल्पिंग यू आउट विद द एप्टीट्यूड एंड एज वेल एज द डोमेन वाला पार्ट आल्सो, राइट।
अच्छा। डोमेन पार्ट मींस अकाउंट्स या फिर इकोनॉमिक्स एक्सेट्रा?
हाँ जी, हाँ जी।
ठीक है, हमने टाइम्स भोपाल में एनरोल किया हुआ है सर।
So you can speak to the center specifically for this, right?
ओके
So
ओके,
they'll help you
सो
better, right? But
ओके,
however, every guidance, every possible end to end आपको जो भी मतलब guidance होगा सर, help होगा, we'll try to help you out with that, right?
राइट राइट। एंड सौरभ जी, वेयर आर यू बेस्ड एट?
Sir, I work with Gurgaon.
अच्छा, यू आर इन गुड़गांव, ओके ओके ओके, ठीक है,
जी,
ठीक है सर, ओके। विल यू शेयर योर पर्सनल नंबर्स और आईडीज आल्सो इन दिस?
okay sir. Sir,
ओके,
so in case if you have any queries, anyone can reach me out on this particular number, right? So
Hello.
हाँ जी,
What is
Manisha ji has some query. हाँ जी, Manisha ji, you can speak. Okay, Suyesh has another question. Uh, Can we continue with the question, which are the best university in South India for combinations of accounts and the other options? Can we keep this question for this 22nd session, right? Because the people from the South will be in a better position to help you with this particular query, right? Since I belong to North region, so I will not be a right person to comment on this, right? So please excuse me for this particular query.
सौरभ जी आप नॉर्थ के बता दीजिए व्हाट्स आर द गुड कॉलेजेस एंड यूनिवर्सिटीज
Okay, so sir, again it depends upon the subjects. Like since your daughter is a commerce with maths student, right? So
यस
again sir, हमने बीकॉम के प्रोग्राम्स की बात की हुई है, बीएमएस और बीबीई के प्रोग्राम्स की बात की है, वो एक बहुत ही अच्छे कंसिडरेबल ऑप्शंस हैं, right? So Delhi University, BHU again, then we have this BBU also is a good option for if you're looking at the central universities. Jamia Millia Islamia again a good option. Tata Institute of Social Science you can consider. Again, these questions depends upon sir checking upon the requirement, the student subjects
ओके
again, and the interest of the student, right?
ठीक है सर दिस इज आल्सो टेकिंग CUT स्कोर फॉर द एडमिशंस
uh, Pardon, can you please repeat your question? Okay, Ajay is asking, I did not study anything about CUET exam, can I apply for it? I think it's very hard, or just I focused on CET? No Ajay, you have ample of time, right? You have 30 to 45 days in hand, and CUET is a damn easy paper. If you go through the previous year question papers, it is very easy to crack in 30 45 days. You have to be consistent and you have to study what your mentors are like asking you to study. You can easily get into good decent central universities, so please don't take a chance. You please study hard for CUT examinations once you're done with your board examinations, and it's a easy paper, right? It's one of the easiest paper, right? So yes, which is better, because I am good in both the subject, but case studies of business studies of NCERT sometimes have multiple correct questions which are similar. Suyesh, can you be little clear on your query? Anyways, anybody else having any particular query which you want me to answer, I would be happy to help you out. Or
Hello?
rest, we can wind up the session.
Hello.
Haji.
What is syllabus for mathematics?
Mathematics syllabus you can check on the website, right? So
Is it
you go and
intermediate
visit
or-
the www.CUET website. So syllabus has been given over there. You can check
Okay.
from the website.
Okay. Okay.
No, there are no such colleges which offer integrated BBA through CUET.
Okay. What about ICFA University, Hyderabad?
Sir, can we take your query for the
Okay.
22nd session, because this session was just limited to the form filling session, right? And about the general discussions around the colleges,
Okay.
particularly Delhi University. For the South colleges, we can connect on 22nd. So there would be some experts from the South to help you out with this query. I'm really sorry for this.
No problem. So what are the chances for Delhi University for BBA? Like my son is studying economics, business studies, mathematics.
Okay, so
accountancy.
the chances are fairly high, sir. However, the competition increases, so he has to prepare very well with respect to the domain subject when it comes to mathematics. तो domain की उसको तैयारी अच्छे से करनी होगी, particularly mathematics, right?
Okay.
So again, language, mathematics, and general aptitude test.
Okay.
So if your child is already studying for IPMET Indore, I guess it will be an easy game for him or her to get into this CUET.
Okay.
All right. Since if you're a math student, a commerce student with no maths, you have no options in Delhi University to apply for BBA program, right? However, there is one engineering college, HBTU Kanpur, which provides the BBA program. So therein you can apply, right? All right, guys, thank you so much for being such a lovely and wonderful audience. It was really a nice time. समय का पता नहीं चला, right? So in case if you have any query, please drop a WhatsApp. I'll try to reach out as early as possible. Thank you so much. I hope this session was impactful and useful, and you will be able to fill the form correct, right? Thank you so much for your time. Please
Saurabh,
drop your feedback in case if there is an improvement required. I would love to work on that.
Saurabh, thank you for the informative session, Saurabh.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Means a lot,
Right.
sir.
Thank you, Saurabh. It was a wonderful session, a lot of clarity, and we'll be eagerly waiting for the 22nd session. Thank you very much.
Sure, sir.